What's up, gang? This is Ashley. Welcome to my channel, All Things Ashcat. Back with another video today, and this is a special video for all my nurses out there, my seasoned nurses, my beginner nurses, my future nurses. This is for you. I'm about to give a real spill of me taking the NCLEX, and hopefully this will be an interesting story. Hopefully it's not too long, because I did a video last time and it ended up being way too long. So we're gonna see if we can try to shorten this video, and yeah, so I'm gonna get right into it. I just recently graduated. Nurse pinning was May 14th. Graduation was May 15th. My graduation party was May 25th, and 4 days later, May 29th, I took my NCLEX. Now, NCLEX stands for National Council Licensure Examination for Registered Nurses. You have an NCLEX PN, which is practical nurses, and then you have an NCLEX-RN. So the NCLEX-RN for registered nurses is the one that I took. The 5 semesters I've been in school, this is what we've been preparing for. You can get anywhere from 75 as the minimum questions to 265 as the maximum questions, and we were just preparing all year, all nursing school for this test specifically. So, wait too long after graduation to take my test. I just wanted to get it over with because I already had a job lined up. I had a start date, so I needed to do it before then. So I already had like a month's time span between when I graduated and when I would start my job. So I was like, that's perfect time for me to just go ahead and get this test out the way. So, register for the test. The test, it was like $290 altogether for, all the fees and everything to register for my test. And, but it literally took me 30 to 45 minutes to just contemplate the date that I wanted to take this test, the time that I wanted to take this test. So it was like a real big deal for me. So I just sat there staring at the computer for like so long. That I was going to take my test on May 29th, after my graduation party. May 29th was a Wednesday, and I decided to take my test at 2 p.m. in the afternoon because I was going to be taking my test down in Charleston. And if any of you guys know how Charleston traffic is in the morning, in the evening, whatever time, it is crazy ridiculous. So I didn't want to risk the me being late to the test, going early in the morning at 8. I'm not going against traffic, I'm going right with it. So I didn't want to risk being late. So I was like, I'll just leave early and get there way before 2 o'clock so I don't have any problems getting there, and I'll be on time for my test. Same exact week, my car acted up. I think, my radiator fan was something was going on with my car. So, I needed a rental. At this point, I'm freaking out because I'm like, well, I have to have a rental. I take my state boards next week. I must have a car. I'm gonna have to have a car. And so they were acting so funny up there or whatever, but I finally ended up getting a rental. So that was cool for me. I was like, okay, I'm driving a different little cute car, but I can vibe out, on the way there or whatever. So it ended up working out. Some music going, I'm praying, I'm doing everything to kind of mellow myself out. Get there, and I see a few other people in the parking lot. I sit in the parking lot for a good little minute. My stomach is killing me. I'm just like, I gotta use the bathroom. I was just like super nervous real quick. So what I did to prepare actually for this test, nothing. So I did questions. I didn't really do anything very disciplinary, I guess. I didn't really discipline myself to do a whole bunch of stuff. I just did little practice questions. I downloaded a few apps on my phone. NCLEX Mastery is a good one. I didn't get UWorld. I've heard so much about UWorld, but I didn't get it because honestly, your girl is frugal and I was not getting ready to pay for anything. Fortunately, some program that I was in they ended up paying for some kind of little like program for me to go through. It was $100 for like 8 weeks, and I'm gonna be quite honest with you, I didn't even use it. The program, I didn't really like it. It just didn't seem very engaging to me, so I didn't even end up using it. So plus I was so busy when we ended up graduating. I had a lot going on, so I wasn't able to really stick to it like I wanted to. So So didn't do that. So I did just, you know, the apps, and I also did ATI. ATI is a program that we started in school since like the first semester, and it takes you through all of the subjects: fundamentals, pharmacology, med-surg, which was a killer for me throughout school, mental health, which was one of my favorites, what else, mother baby, pediatrics, leadership, all kinds of stuff. So it takes you through everything. It, you know, gives you practice tests and all kinds of stuff. So I, you know, really like that. At the end of the semester, throughout school, I really sucked with ATI. I'm not gonna lie, it was horrible for me. I absolutely hated it. But like the last 2 semesters of school, I was killing it. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I, you know, figured out how to answer the questions better or what, but I really was like killing ATI. So I used that. I would answer questions. I used NCLEX Mastery. I downloaded a few other little apps here and there. And, you know, I would look at reviews of stuff. I would, you know, read the rationales off of the questions and everything. And, you know, at that point, I was just like, you know, if I don't know it at this point, I won't. I was just like not stressing it, because I'm like, I've went through school for this long. There's no way I'm gonna fail this test. Like, OC Tech is not number 2 for no reason. You hear me? So with that being said, fast forward back to my test. So I was on the way there, got there, and stayed in, you know, my car for a good minute. I said prayer after prayer after prayer after prayer, and finally went in. And so it's actually a Pearson VUE testing site. So you walk in the building, and I found where the nurses were supposed to be taking the test. And to my surprise, I see a good bit of my classmates there. So that kind of made me feel at ease about, you know, taking the test. So, you know, we chatted and we encouraged each other. And you walk in, and the lady gives you information to read over, and then she calls you back up a little bit later. You take a palm print, you take a mugshot looking picture. You know, you can't have anything on you, no jewelry or anything. They check your hair. They pat you down. They make you dig out your pockets. They make you just like this whole like security thing, just to make sure you won't cheat, because this really is a serious test. Did all that, and you know, he explained everything to me about how, you know, you'll have noise canceling headphones and all kinds of stuff. So I walk in, and the room is kind of like a half moon shaped room, and you know, it's a computer, you know, down the line, and each person has their own little cubby, which works for me, because it gave you a lot of space or whatever. So, you know, I start the test, and it takes you through this like tutorial thing of like how to answer the questions, and you know, make sure you know how to click the questions right or whatever. So, you know, I start that, and I'm just like, oh my god, come on. It was like so many questions. I just really wanted to start the test. So finally got to the test, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. I was like, if I get 265, I'm not even finishing the test. I'm walking out. We joked about it all semester. So I was like, okay, 75 questions and we gonna be good. So taking my test, and I'm getting some questions that I've never seen before. I'm just like, okay. So taking the test, and I'm doing some questions I'm familiar with. I'm like, oh yeah, I know I got that. I'm getting select all that applies, which I absolutely hate because of the way it's worded. So I was just like, oh my goodness. And I kept getting like select all that applies back to back. And so I was just like, But then I did hear that when you get a lot of select all apply, and when you get a lot of questions that you've never seen before, that supposedly means you're doing good. So I was just like, okay, actually, well, maybe you're doing better than you think you are, because those questions really were kicking my butt. So like an hour and a half, I'll be out of here in a second. So, you know, I get to question 74. I was like, oh shoot, we got one question left. One question. So I get to 75, and I'm like, oh, moment of truth, baby. This is the last question. And so I was like, I made it, yo. I really made it. All this time, this nursing school paid off. Y'all made it. Question 75, here we come. So I answer the question, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, ooh, I clicked next and it did not cut me off. I was like, okay, maybe it'll cut me off at like 83 or 88 or something like that. I've heard of people getting cut off at like a weird number other than 75. So I was like, okay, we cool. We got this. So I'm taking my test, and I get to question 90, and I was like, okay, it's gonna cut me off at like 95 or 100. So I'm good with that. So I get to question 100, and I'm like, all right, I know for sure it's gonna cut me off at this point. So I get to question 100, and the screen turns blue, and I didn't even get excited yet. I just had to make sure that I read what was on the screen. But at that point, I had knew that I had, finished my test. It had cut me off. But in reality, it was just telling me, we're prompting you to take a break now, so go ahead and take a break. So I'm just like, are you serious? So I end up taking a break because I did start feeling a little crazy in the testing room. I felt a little nauseous. And I was feeling a little weird in the stomach, so I was like, let me get up, go clear my head, come back, and we're gonna finish this test out. Maybe it'll stop me at like 108 or something. So I raise my hand, and the person comes and gets all my stuff, escorts me out. I go get my keys and everything, kind of just go to the bathroom. I sit there for a little while, and I just breathe. And I'm just like, Ashley, you're gonna be good. Don't start panicking yet. It's too early in the game. It's too early. So I was just, just taking time to breathe. I made sure I drank some water. I took like a good 15 minutes probably to just kind of get myself back together. And at this point I'm feeling a little bit better than I was. So I go back in, and I'm just like, all right, Ashley, it's gonna cut you off eventually. You just gotta get through the questions that you have left. So I go back in, and I continue my test, and I'm getting to question 130, and I'm just like, man, when is this thing gonna cut me off? And I was like, are you serious right now? So I get to question 150, and I start crying, and I'm just like, you cannot be serious right now. I was like, there's no way that this test is gonna take me through the entire 265 questions, because I vowed to myself and my friends that if it took me through, I was not finishing that test. I was just gonna walk out. So I was like, nah, it can't be. I was like, it's just gonna stop me at a weird number. So I'm at 150, and I'm just like crying, and at this point I'm thinking I'm doing bad and I'm gonna fail the test. So I was just like, well, Ashley, you can't go anywhere. I mean, you don't really have a choice. You have to finish this test, because we're not quitters over here. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. So start crying at 180 again, and I'm just like, at this point I'm crying through like the whole thing, because each question that comes by, it's like another tear rolls down, another tear, and I was just like, man, seriously. So I get to question 200, and it prompts me to take another break. And I'm just like, Ashley, I swear you just got up. And I'm like, no, we're gonna power through this. I don't even care at this point if I pass or fail. We're gonna power through this. We're gonna get it done, because at this point I was just wanting to get it done and get out of there completely. So I'm going through the test. So once I get to like 230, I'm like accepting the fact that, okay, Ashley, it's gonna take you through the whole entire test. You got 35 more questions left, and that's it. So, and I know this sounds really bad, but at this point, I'm just like, I'm reading the questions, but I'm not even focusing no more, because I'm already like 3.5-4 hours into the test, and I can't even concentrate anymore. So I'm just like clicking, and I'm just like, I'm not taking as much time as I needed to think about the question and answer it. So I'm just clicking answers of whatever I think might be the answer. So finally get to 265, and then it prompts me like a trial run of the next set of NCLEX style questions they'll be putting on the next test, because they're getting ready to change it. So do that, and I'm like, I'm just clicking wrong answers. I don't even care, because I couldn't even focus. I didn't see an exit button, and then it takes me through like a survey, and I'm like, I'm not doing this, because I promise you, if I do this, y'all getting all 0 stars. Like, trust me, no. So I just exit out, and I get up, and I leave, and I am trying to get out the building because at this point the sun is going down. I'm trying to get out the building. I push the door and it's not letting me out. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? And so I'm just like pushing on the door. I'm like, I'm getting ready to break this door down. But then I look on the wall and it's like, push to exit. So I was like, oh, okay. So finally get out. Had to walk around to the front of the building because that's where I was parked at. And I get in my car, I check my phone, and as I suspected, I have 1,000,001 missed calls and messages of my mom asking me, are you okay? I'm starting to get worried. Of my best friend asking, are you okay? How'd you do? I'm starting to get worried. About one of my instructors messaged me and was like, I didn't know you were taking your test today. Immediately call my mom, and I can't even talk. I'm just like, Mom. So I'm just like, I can't talk. And at that point, she knew. At that point, she knew. And I was just like, yo, I'm pretty sure I failed that test. There's no way. It took me through the whole entire thing. I didn't think that was going to happen. I text my friend, and I'm just like, it took me through the whole thing. I didn't think that was going to happen. And she texted me, and she said, yeah, that's the same thing that happened to me yesterday. And I'm just like, seriously? And she told me the day before, because she took her test the day before me, and after she got out the test, I was like, how'd it go? And she was like, I'm pretty sure I failed. And I'm just like, oh my god. But she didn't tell me she got all 265 questions. So I thought I was the only one, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I failed, because if it took me through the entire test, that means that I wasn't doing what as good as I thought I was doing. I text my instructor, and I'm just like, I don't know. The Pearson VUE trick is that you try to re-register for the test after you've taken it, and either you get the good pop-up or the bad pop-up. And the good pop-up is saying, you can't register for this test, it's already scheduled, please try it another time, or something like that. Or you get the bad pop-up, and it's like, your card has been declined. So if it tries to actually take the money for you to register for another test, then that means you probably failed. But if you get the other one, then you probably passed, because it's not registering a real actual person, just has to verify the test results before it's put out. So I get the good pop-up, and so I text her back, and I'm like, yeah, I got the good pop-up. And she's like, oh my gosh, congratulations, good work. And I'm just like, no, that doesn't mean anything to me. So I'm on my way home. I'm supposed to be at a Bible study that night, and I'm just like, I have a headache on 1,000. I cried all my makeup off, because I did put on makeup that morning. When you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you do good. Something like that. Isn't that how it goes? I was like, okay, well, if I look popping, then maybe I'll feel good about doing this test. We're gonna have a good day. But that is completely the opposite of what my day turned out to be. It was a horror taking that test, and just having to drive home with a massive headache in traffic. I did get stuck in traffic, and it was just horrible. So my mom and those were on the way to Bible study. So at that point I was like, there's no way I'm gonna make this Bible study. But then I was like, no, I need to go. And then I also felt low-key, and I know that this is not how things work, but I was like, okay, well, maybe God, if I go to Bible study, then you might pity me and help me pass this test. You might, change some of them results in that computer. You hear me? Stop thinking, because I was so distraught. I was just trying to think of any rationale possible as to why this thing took me through this entire test. So I'm just like freaking out or whatever. So anyway, I go to Bible study, and oh god, this sounds so bad, but I am literally doing this Pearson VUE trick like so much. In the back of Bible study, I'm putting my real card information in, and it's not taking it. So I'm just like, versus and them taking their NCLEX, and they're saying, that they did the Pearson VUE trick, and when they got the good pop-up, they really did pass. So I was like, this is my only hope. This is what's gonna get me through these 2 days. This is what's gonna get me through these 2 days. Because you have to wait 2 days to get your quick results. So I had already made up in my mind that this was gonna be the worst 2 days of my life, because I was gonna be sitting here contemplating whether I failed or not. The next day was horrible. I woke up feeling like somebody had died. That's how bad it felt to anticipate the results of this test. It felt so bad. I was watching YouTube videos of all these people doing Pearson VUE tricks. I was watching YouTube videos of people passing. I was watching YouTube videos of, why people might have gotten 265 questions. And I'm just like freaking out. So I was like, I cannot do this. I have to do something to distract myself. So I helped my mom clean the house. I had to distract myself somehow. And then the next day, I ended up going to Charleston. So I ended up going to Charleston with my mom, and you know, we're just down there just shopping or whatever. And you know, I'm just thinking about it so much. I'm checking this thing every day to see if my quick results are available every hour, on the hour. And so my friend got hers the day before me, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe it's just gonna come at 3. So, you know, it's getting closer to 3 and I'm getting even more jacked up and distraught. And like my mom is sitting in the store and she was like, Ashley, don't you need this? And I'm just like, huh? I can't even concentrate. I'm just like, I can't do it, bruh. I can't do it. It's gonna have to wait. So my mom goes to Dollar Tree in the little plaza. Y'all, Dollar Tree is awesome. Definitely go shop there. And like at 3:01, that's when I log in and I check it. And so I pay for my quick results, which is like $7, $8 to get it. But who wouldn't do that? I'm definitely, you know, I'm gonna sacrifice that $8 to, you know, prevent myself from having to wait 6 weeks to get my stuff. So pay for my quick results and I'm scrolling down. I'm not even breathing at this point. I'm scrolling down until I see that word, and it was pass, and I screamed so hard. I shook the car. The people beside me are just like, and at that point I didn't even care. I turned my car off and I like dash in the store, and I'm like running down, running past each aisle to try to find my mom, and I'm like, Ma, I passed, and she was happy. So yes, we did make a scene in the store, but that was literally the best feeling in the world for me to see that pass right there. I was officially a registered nurse. I passed that test, and like I said, that feeling made up for those 2 days of turmoil that I went through, you know, just anticipating this test. Like, I wouldn't wish that feeling on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. That is a horrible feeling, but at this point, I'm done. I am already like a month. What is today? I'm already a month and like 2 weeks. June, July. Yeah, like a month and 2 weeks into my job. I absolutely love my job. I work in the intensive care unit. It's really called the CCU, which I love my job. I love the staff. I love everything about that job so far. I learned so much. I see so much, and I chose it for the simple fact that I really wanted to get stronger in my skills, and I truly believe that that is happening at this point. Nursing is definitely what you make it. So no matter your experience, and you know, make sure you're learning something every day. I am not perfect. I'm far from perfect. I have great people who are willing to teach me and correct me and let me know certain things and how they do things, and I just really love that about my job. So if you are a nursing student, if you are somebody who's considering nursing, if you're a nurse such as myself, just definitely just you know, ensure that, you know, you're always learning and being genuine and being a caring person, and your attitude is what will carry you through the program. Even you have to have endurance. That's definitely one thing. It's for the strong, it's not for the weak, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, so I think I'm pretty much done. What else do I have to say? I eat good at work, okay? You hear me? I eat good. Oh, and just because you get 265 questions on the NCLEX or on any type of state license test does not mean that you're any less of a nurse than somebody who got 75 questions. It doesn't matter. You have your license just like they have their license. You're all here to learn on the floor. Everyone is starting as a beginner. So the number of questions does not matter. If it says pass, then you're a nurse. Okay, you hear me? So I think that's pretty much all I got, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I know it was kind of long and drawn out, but that was the only way, you know, I had to tell this story. But yeah, so like, subscribe, comment on my channel on this video, give me suggestions of other things that you guys would like to know about me. Just let me know. I'm open to anything. I'm always here to encourage, and I'm always here to help. So I think that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get on out of here, and I will see you guys on the flip. Thanks again for watching. This is All Things Ash Cat signing out.